This is a 13 millimeter belt made by somebody else. For comparison, I've got a 10 millimeter belt made by us. I want you to notice one thing. On the 13 millimeter belt, it has a layer of suede on the top and the bottom. This belt has no suede on it. It's full thickness, veg tan leather in 10 millimeter. Suede has a thickness, and it's about 1.5 millimeters. So if I put 2 layers of suede together, I got 3 millimeters. What happens if I were to take this belt here and I were to put a layer of suede on the top and the bottom? I would have a 13 millimeter belt. What would I have accomplished by doing that? See, suede is a stretchy material. It's not structural. It performs functions. It has aesthetics to it. It can protect the leather. You don't have to add oil, say, to a suede belt ever. But the suede itself doesn't add any structure to the belt. On this belt in particular, all the structure is already here. In contrast, on this belt is going to have approximately 10 millimeters of structural leather. Now, I happen to know for a fact that these two belts are not made out of the same thing, and what they're made out of is very important. Let's just assume for the moment that they were made out of the same thing. There would be no difference between this belt in terms of support and this belt as they sit right here, because the thickness of the structural leather is exactly the same. The only thing that has been done different on this belt is a layer of suede has been added on the top and on the bottom. The point of the video was why we don't make 13 millimeter belts. The main reason is that I don't think it's necessary. I think it just adds thickness for the purpose of adding thickness. Why 13 millimeter? All of the powerlifting federations have come together on a certain set of standards, and there are maximum dimensions for belts, what they can be. The maximum thickness dimension is 13 millimeter. The maximum width dimension is 10 centimeter. Those are belts that we'll usually call 4-inch belts, but they're actually 10 centimeter. It's a little bit less than 4. And if you're buying a belt, by the way, that is advertised as a 4-inch belt, you might want to check it if you intend to use it for competition. If it is greater than 10 centimeter in width, you actually run the risk of it being disallowed for competition. So 13 millimeter, 10 centimeter. Many lifters will take those dimensions and say, well, if that's the maximum that's allowed, then that's what I want. I want the maximum. I think that does a few things that I would not do. If we're just adding thickness for the sake of adding thickness, we make a few things more difficult. For example, if I try to buckle this belt, the added thickness of the suede makes it a bit stiffer. It's going to make it quite a bit more difficult to tuck under the keeper. Now, this is not a particularly good belt. It's the one I have for an example. But the 13 millimeters does not add anything structural that you would actually want in terms of support on the belt. It simply adds thickness for the sake of adding thickness. If the way you get that thickness is by adding a layer of suede on the top side and on the inside. And that is how most 13 millimeter belts are constructed. So the bottom line is, don't go for maximum thickness. Go for the amount of structure you feel that you need on a belt. And again, on this belt in particular, this happens to be a starting strength double ply that we're working on. We just got finished stitching it. It's not even put together yet fully. It has a full 10 millimeters of thickness of structural leather. And again, the only difference between something like this and this is that that layer of suede on the top and bottom to add thickness for no structural purpose isn't done. So you can get all of the structural support that you need out of a thinner belt if it's made out of the right stuff. And that's the purpose of this comparison here and the reason that we don't make a 13 millimeter belt. It's unnecessary. If you were to take, for instance, this leather and make it 13 millimeters out of just this stuff, it would be so stiff that people wouldn't understand what it is. It wouldn't make sense how stiff it would be. And more or less, no one does that, and that's why it's not a thing. Most 13 millimeter belts, almost all of them that you will see, will have a layer of suede on the outside and a layer of suede on the inside just to make up that thickness. I think it's unnecessary, and that's why we don't make them. That's all. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe. And if you want to check out our belts, dominionstrengthtraining.com. If you have any questions, drop us an email, team@dominionstrength. I'll put a link to our email in the description. And thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.